All right, hello everybody. We are live. Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. Time is just after 9 o'clock as we record this, 9:05 on this Monday evening. Wanted to talk about our forecast this week, which, a lot like last week, is looking very busy. We have not just one chance for storms this week, but I'm seeing as many as 3 opportunities for storms between now and Friday. In each of these opportunities, it's not a guarantee, but each of these will bring at least an opportunity for a couple of strong to severe storms across our area. So we will attack this kind of one at a time here. And I'll start, before we get to the forecast, with the numbers for today. So here we go into the double box. We hit 71 today. Not as cool as yesterday, but certainly another cooler than average day. We had a little bit of sunshine in the early to mid-afternoon, then we clouded back up again for the evening. So here is the deal with our storm chance, and as you guys tune in, I see Stephanie is tuning in. Roxy says, I don't like spring. Yep, this is, you know, it's funny. Last week we started talking about the El Nino and the El Nino watch, and it's like all of a sudden we just flip the switch, and not only is it a lot more spring-like, but a lot more El Nino-like, with a much more active weather pattern, much more rain. We've been a little bit cooler. That, as we're discussing, will continue into this week, and then we after this week, we'll flip into May, which, as we know, May is the wettest month on average of the year for us here in Central Texas. So here's the deal. Tomorrow is going to be our first round of severe storms, or the possibility of severe storms for the week. It's the afternoon into the evening, maybe even into the early overnight hours tomorrow, depending on how things play out, but that's going to be around 1 tomorrow. We get a little bit of a break for Wednesday morning, perhaps into Wednesday afternoon, and then Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we have the second round that moves through. Of all the rounds, I think the most widespread is probably going to end up being round 2. And then round 3, again, still uncertain. That would be late day Friday night as a cold front moves through. If we're able to recharge again, then that could bring the chance for a couple of strong to severe storms. Lewis says, I love this weather. It is movie watching weather. Yeah, if you get a nice gentle thunderstorm to move through, it's not too bad. Now, if you start getting hail and all that other mess, maybe not so much fun for the movie. Speaking of, let's get into our severe weather outlook for tomorrow. Another one where we have the 2 out of 5 for most of our area, especially along and east of I-35. And then as you go into our western hill country areas, Mason, Gillespie County, western Llano County, it is the marginal. That is the level 1 out of 5. Now, the main risk tomorrow is going to be the potential for large hail. We are once again, we had this a few times last week, we are once again in the hatched area. That's what those lines are for. The hatched area means that significant hail is possible. Again, hail that could be not just, quarter size, hail that could be golf ball size or larger. There's the potential for that. Also, we have a slightly higher than normal tornado risk for tomorrow. The green is the 2% area. That means a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point. The brown is the 5%. We have been bumped up to that along and east of I-35. Some of these storms tomorrow could be kind of out by themselves, cellular, easier for storms to form. And then we also have a little warm front that will be working from the south that can kind of increase the spin right along the front as well. So that's the reasoning for that. And then here is Wednesday's storm outlook. Again, I think that Wednesday night may end up being our most widespread storms of the week, where we have the 2 out of 5 that includes northern I-35 corridor and the hill country. Okay, it looks like we are good on questions here. We will hop now into the timing. We'll hop into the radar, then we'll get into the timing. The radar here locally, let me zoom in, is quiet. When I was out about an hour ago running back in from dinner, there's a few very light rain, not even rain showers. There's a few raindrops out there where we've got some mist and some drizzle that has developed. That's going to continue through the late evening and into tonight. So it's not storms. If you get a little bit of rain, that's not the severe deal yet, but you could have, some mist, some drizzle and stuff this evening and tonight. Here is the bigger storm system right now over Idaho. This is going to swing down through here, and it will ultimately pull the cold front through here Wednesday night, early Thursday, so widespread storm chance with that. But ahead of it, tomorrow we also have the chance for some storms. Now we will get into the models. So here we go. Tomorrow morning, we will not have severe weather. but we will have some damp conditions for many spots, some drizzle, some mist, maybe some light showers. We'll call it about a 20% chance for light showers through the beginning part of the day, and that will take us into the early afternoon and into the 3 o'clock hour where you could have some passing rain, but it's not severe yet. Now, the deal for tomorrow is it's one of those days where we have a cap in place in the atmosphere. It's like there's a lid on things, and that can prevent storms from forming, or at least prevent strong storms from forming. The question will be, can we break out into a little bit of sun? Can we warm up enough tomorrow to break through that cap? It's not a guarantee. That's why it's a tricky forecast. But based on the latest models I'm looking at, it's looking more likely than not that the cap will break tomorrow, and we'll start to see some strong to possibly severe storms developing. And that is what this model has happening east and southeast of Austin as we get into 4, 5 o'clock. Continues into the early evening, 6:30 into 7 o'clock. And then what this model is showing is kind of interesting. This is actually new to the forecast. If we're not worked over from storms earlier in the afternoon, and if there's enough instability left, we could actually have a couple of storms swing in from the north during the early overnight hours. So here's 11 o'clock, and again, some of these could be strong to severe as these swing through into 1 a.m., and that's going to be around 1. So we wake up Wednesday morning, should be quiet, mostly cloudy, maybe some light stuff around, but no storms. The afternoon on Wednesday, mostly sunny, dry, but when we get that sunshine out, we're going to be much warmer on Wednesday. I think highs are able to push into the mid-80s, especially if we get sun. That's just going to destabilize things again. So now we move in around 2, which is late Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. So 9 p.m., front coming in from the north. And then as we go into the overnight hours, here's 1:30 a.m. We're looking at widespread rain and storms. These push from west to east from the hill country into the I-35 corridor, say 2, 3 a.m. And then that continues as we get into early Thursday. And then by Thursday afternoon, we're back into a little bit of a lull. So that is round 1 and round 2. Round 3 would be Friday afternoon into Friday evening. Again, we're going to have to kind of wait and see on that, how much the atmosphere is able to recharge. It gets tricky when you have multiple rounds of severe weather because it all plays off of each other. So if rain overachieved tomorrow, could that maybe limit things a little bit for Wednesday night? Maybe. So they kind of play off of each other. Here's the rainfall forecast. Barbara was going to ask about the cap. This time of the year, it's always good to ask about the cap. Now, again, tomorrow I do think the cap will be a factor. Again, based on the models that we're looking at, I do think the cap's going to break, especially southeast of Austin. Not a guarantee. Hey, hopefully, we don't get severe weather. We can just get some showers and a little bit of beneficial rain. I do not think that the cap will be an issue for Wednesday night or Thursday, though. We've got better forcing. The front's going to be coming in, so I don't think that's going to be as big of an issue for Wednesday night. So could tomorrow underachieve a little bit? It's possible. Again, I've got a rain chance, 50-60%. But I do think that widespread storms are a higher likelihood for Wednesday night and early Thursday. Alicia, you don't need to worry. Again, there's a severe weather risk. If you're watching this, though, you'll know about it and you'll be prepared. So rainfall forecast. We do not want severe weather, but man, it has been nice over the past couple of weeks to get things at least going in the right direction with our drought situation. Now, that has not corresponded to the lake levels yet. Some folks have been emailing me and sending me Facebook messages. We have not seen big improvements in the lake levels, but I am happy that parts of Gillespie County that do feed into Lake Travis and parts of Mason County that do feed into Lake LBJ, and then parts of northern Burnett County, and then up north, San Saba, north of our KVUE area. Some of these areas that funnel into our Highland Lake system have been getting rain. The problem is you need the runoff. You need enough rain not just to wet the ground, but you've got to get the creeks and the streams and the rivers and everything flowing again after things have been so dry. But how much more rain do we have? Went off on a tangent there. How much more rain do we have in the forecast? Latest model data, pretty ambitious, showing that many areas see 1 to 2 inches with some pockets of 2 to 4 inches of rain between now and Thursday morning. But again, there could be some areas that miss out a little bit more, especially across the western hill country, Mason County, Llano County, northern Gillespie County. At least some of these areas did get some rain over the weekend. Also got some hail with those big storms, Saturday night. What about flood risk? There is minor flood potential here. I don't think it's going to be a big issue, but if we get some areas getting 2 to 5 inches of rain, there could be some minor flooding like what we had last week. And here is our 7-day forecast. I know it looks kind of busy on there with several rounds of storms, but tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening, storms are possible. Some of them could be strong to severe. Not a slam dunk forecast tomorrow. That cap could kind of put a lid on things. I've got a rain chance tomorrow around 60%. I think there is a higher chance for storms late day Wednesday. There's a 70% on Wednesday. A good chunk of the day Wednesday is going to be dry, but again, late Wednesday into Wednesday night, pretty widespread rain and storms moving through. Chance for severe weather with them. Lingering into Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon into early Friday. Looks dry, and then Friday evening, a second front's going to move in. That could once again bring a chance for strong to severe storms. I suspect we'll have that severe box on Friday here before too long as well. And then after that, the weekend is looking calmer. We'll be warmer again. We'll get to the mid-80s on Monday. Would not surprise me if we get back into some active stuff next week as well. And as we flip the page into May, we know that May can get quite rainy and stormy around here as well. All right, so I think we are covered here. I'm looking at the Facebook questions here. Looks like we've got everything covered. I'll go through things one more time for you, and then we will sign off of here. I'm going to grab a seat real quick. I'll sign off of here after we go through things one more time. What we'll do is we'll have our full newscast at 10 o'clock right here on KVUE. We would really appreciate it if you guys could tune in. If the model gets in soon enough, I may have some new model data to go over at 10 as well, which will be nice to see. Tomorrow, the plan is we'll have Shane doing doing daybreak and midday tomorrow. He will have you covered on the streaming. He'll do a stream sometime in the morning tomorrow. KVUE app, KVUE blog, all of that is updated as well. Then it's going to be me and meteorologist Grace Thornton will be in here for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. We'll do it like how we did it last week, where we'll try and be pretty much continuous on KVUE Plus, even if things are not necessarily severe, or if it's 1 or 2 T-storm warnings, we're not on TV. We're going to try and be streaming just as much as we possibly can, just to keep everybody up to date. So that is the plan, and then we'll probably do the same thing again for Wednesday and Wednesday night. All right, let's get back into the beginning of our graphics here, and we will go through it one more time. And we will start with the timing here for the potential for some severe storms. Just keeping an eye on the Facebook comments too. So round 1 is going to be tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. There is going to be a cap at play. There's a little bit of uncertainty. It's possible it could underachieve, but certainly not a guarantee. Like we talked about earlier, it looks more likely than not that a couple of strong storms are able to fire up. That's going to be round 1 tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. After that, we get a little bit of a break, and then round 2 is going to be Wednesday night into Thursday. That one, storms look more likely, a little bit more widespread. Again, could be strong to severe. Another little break. And then the potential for round 3, that would be late day Friday and Friday evening. That one also a little bit uncertain, just kind of depends on how things unfold earlier in the week and if we're able to bring back up the instability and recharge the atmosphere in time for some more storms late week. Here's our storm outlook for tomorrow. For your Tuesday and Tuesday night, it is the slight risk. That is the level 2 out of 5 for most of us. The marginal level 1 out of 5 for our western hill country counties out around Mason and Fredericksburg. Main risk tomorrow is going to be the hail potential. We are once again included in the hatched area. That's what those striped lines mean. Hatched area means significant hail is possible, so not just quarter size, but maybe some stuff that's golf ball size. Last week we had hail up to baseball size, so we can't completely rule that out tomorrow either. Here is the tornado outlook for tomorrow, which is slightly higher than the standard 2%. They have upgraded to the 5% along and east of I-35. And again, what that means, there's a 5% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point. The reason for the 5% rather than the 2%, there could be some storms, we call them cellular. You know, they could be out by themselves, one storm cell, not competing with a big line of storms. And if you get that, the ingredients typically are a little bit more conducive for tornadoes. So that will be one factor. We also have a warm front that will be coming up from the south. We'll have to wait and see how far north, how far south, where does that set up. But on days like this, sometimes right along that warm front, you get a little bit extra spin, a little bit more convergence from the wind, and that can cause some higher probabilities of a tornado as well. So that's kind of the reasoning for that. And then here's our storm outlook for Wednesday and Wednesday night, which kind of flips now across the hill country. It is the 2 out of 5, and I could see that being expanded a little farther to the south and southeast as well. Audrey, what is the main threat for San Marcos tomorrow? It's going to be hail potential number 1. Then my number 2 is actually going to be the isolated tornado threat, and then number 3 is going to be the gusty wind potential, and then localized heavy rainfall. But hail is going to be my main concern tomorrow for San Marcos and for any other part of central Texas. Here we go. Right now we have some rain up across North Texas. That's light stuff. The radar here locally is quiet, but we do have a few little raindrops out there. Actually ran into a few of those when I was coming back from dinner earlier. Here's our bigger storm system over Idaho. It's going to help pull a cold front through here Wednesday night into Thursday. That's, again, round 2. That's going to be the more widespread stuff. And ahead of that, we do have that potential for storms tomorrow as well. All right, let's get into the models here. Tomorrow morning, it is damp but not stormy. We have mist, drizzle, some light showers. That will take us through the morning hours, and then we wait and see. Through the early afternoon, still don't expect anything, but if we start getting some peaks of sunshine tomorrow, that's going to help warm things up, help destabilize things a little bit more. Again, tomorrow is going to be a day where we do have the cap in place. That could, if it holds, prevent stronger storms from forming, but it looks more likely than not that the cap breaks, especially east and southeast of Austin. We get some strong storms bubbling up. That's what this model is showing, perhaps around the Bastrop area, 4 or 5 o'clock. That takes us into the early evening, 6:30, 7 o'clock. And if there's still enough juice out there, it's possible even tomorrow late evening and tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, there could be a couple more storms that try and work in from the north. That will also bring the chance for some severe weather. That's round 1. A little bit of a break early Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, sunny. Warms things back up again. And then Wednesday night, we get back into storm chances. This is round 2. 9 p.m. maybe getting grays to the north. We'll watch Milam County, see if that catches a storm. And then more widespread stuff, pretty much area-wide developing for Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Here's 3 a.m. This stuff could be strong to severe again. Still some scattered showers into early Thursday, trending drier for the afternoon. So those are the first 2 rounds. And between those 2 rounds of rain, pretty promising rain chances here, where many areas could be 1 to 2 inches. Now, maybe this model is slightly aggressive. It does show some lower totals across the hill country. There could be some areas that miss out on the brunt of the stormy weather. But also there could be some pockets that get 2 to 5 inches of rain where we could have some minor flooding. It's not a big concern of mine, but I can't rule out a couple of flood advisories, maybe a flash flood warning or 2. And here's our 7-day forecast. Megan is asking, next couple of days are we still going to need a light jacket? Not so much. Tomorrow will still be cooler than average. Will be in the 70s, a chance for storms. Wednesday afternoon, you will not need the jacket. We'll have sunshine back out. We'll be in the 80s. Wednesday night brings storms into Thursday morning, and then Thursday is going to be kind of cloudy and cooler again. Temperatures in the 70s, maybe light jacket Thursday. Friday, back up to the 80s. Friday evening, storm chance with the second cold front, and then we're back into the 70s Saturday. And then I think we get a longer stretch of temperatures in the 80s for Sunday and for Monday. Yeah, April, no problem. You got it. All right. I think that's going to do it. But we will sign off of here. Let's see. It is 9:23 right now, so in about 40 minutes, we'll have KVUE News at 10 o'clock. Again, I will probably have new model data for you if it comes out just after the show. I'll wait a little bit. I'll try and tweet that out for you guys. So please join us. KVUE News at 10 o'clock. We'll have some new information on the forecast. Shane will be in tomorrow for daybreak, and for midday, he'll have you covered. Then meteorologist Grace Thornton and myself will be here for the evening and the overnight. And we'll have you covered with as much stuff streaming on Facebook and YouTube and KVUE Plus and all of our streaming platforms as possible. And if we need to hop on TV, we will. And, you know, our normal 5, 6, and 10 newscasts we will have as well. More information on the forecast. We've got the blog and the write-up posted on our app and on KVUE.com. I'll keep that updated for you, and I will hopefully see you guys at 10 o'clock. I'll see you then.